In the vast, uncharted reaches of space, an incredible event is quietly unfolding. At first glance, it seemed like just another object drifting through the endless expanse of the cosmos. However, recent data has led scientists to rethink what they are observing. This object, known as 3IATLAS, which was once thought to be a benign cosmic wanderer from another star system, is now showing signs of something far more unusual. Rather than simply passing through the solar system as expected, it appears to be altering its course. And if the current trend of acceleration continues, this object could align itself with Earth by December 19th, 2025. Now, I want to be absolutely clear here. This isn't just another wild theory. What we are looking at is based on concrete data and meticulous analysis. Independent researchers specializing in orbital mechanics have carefully examined the movement of 3IATLAS and have made some startling calculations. Their work reveals that a continuous non-gravitational push of just 0.02 millimeters per second squared, sustained over a period of 50 days, would change this object's velocity by 86 meters per second. While this may sound like an insignificant change, the vacuum of space works in strange ways. Over time, small forces can have profound effects, especially when applied in a particular direction.
This object came from another star system entirely, a true interstellar visitor. It was first detected on July 1, 2025, by a network of telescopes in Chile, which were specifically set up to spot any potential threats heading toward Earth. At first, 3IATLAS appeared to be just another faint object crossing the sky. But as astronomers began tracking its movement, they quickly realized something extraordinary was happening. The object wasn't behaving like any other asteroid or comet that we've observed in the past. Instead of following a straightforward, predictable path, it was altering its course in a way that didn't make sense. The initial assumption was that 3IATLAS was following a typical trajectory for an interstellar object, moving through the solar system and heading back out into deep space. But soon, it became clear that something was affecting its velocity, something other than gravity. This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Researchers began looking closely at the object's acceleration, specifically its non-gravitational acceleration. Non-gravitational acceleration occurs when an object in space moves in a way that gravity alone cannot explain. Typically, this is seen in comets, where volatile materials on their surfaces sublimate, turning from solid to gas and creating a small, steady push that slightly alters their path. This is a normal process for many comets as they pass near the Sun. But what makes 3IATLAS different is the strength and consistency of this acceleration. According to researchers, this acceleration is so significant that it could change the object's velocity enough to bring it closer to Earth. In fact, if this acceleration continues at the same rate, 3IATLAS could potentially align with Earth in December 2025, causing it to pass much closer to our planet than initially expected. This is where the debate begins. What exactly is causing this acceleration? Some scientists have suggested that this could simply be the result of outgassing, a process that's common in comets. As 3IATLAS moves closer to the Sun, it may be releasing gas and dust, creating a small push that alters its path. But there's one critical detail. This acceleration is much stronger than what we would typically expect from outgassing alone. And there's another, even more perplexing aspect of this mystery. As mentioned earlier, faint signals have been detected emanating from 3IATLAS, pulses at 1.4 gigahertz. This frequency, sitting in the waterhole of the electromagnetic spectrum, is considered an ideal frequency for extraterrestrial communications. This raises an intriguing possibility. Could these signals be intentional? Could 3IATLAS be a probe of some kind, actively sending a message or adjusting its trajectory toward Earth? This is where things get even more interesting. The idea that this object could be a deliberate probe, not just a comet on a strange trajectory, opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. Could it be an alien artifact designed to explore or observe our planet? This, of course, is pure speculation at this point. There's no concrete evidence to support the idea that 3I-ATLAS is anything more than a natural object. But the possibility of extraterrestrial technology deliberately steering itself toward Earth is enough to spark intense curiosity. As we look ahead, the next few months will be crucial. Scientists are already preparing to monitor 3I-ATLAS closely, hoping to gather more data that could either confirm or disprove these theories. What's most exciting is that we are living through this event in real time. We have the opportunity to witness a potential discovery that could fundamentally alter our understanding of the cosmos. Could 3I-ATLAS be the first concrete evidence of extraterrestrial life? Or is it simply a natural object behaving in strange ways that we don't yet fully understand? The discovery of 3I-ATLAS was not only a moment of scientific excitement, but it also opened up a broader discussion about the nature of interstellar objects and how we detect them. Until recently, the idea that an object from another star system could enter our solar system was pure science fiction. However, thanks to advances in technology and the growing capabilities of modern telescopes, this idea is now very much a reality. 3I-ATLAS is only the third confirmed interstellar object ever detected, following in the footsteps of Oumuamua, discovered in 2017, and Borisov, discovered in 2019. What makes 3I-ATLAS stand out from its predecessors is the unusual acceleration it is exhibiting. While both Oumuamua and Borisov behaved in ways that we could largely attribute to natural phenomena, outgassing, for example, 3I-ATLAS is showing signs of something different. The object's acceleration doesn't fully align with the predictions of gravitational models, and this has led some to question whether we're dealing with a more complex scenario. Some have even gone so far as to suggest that the object might be a probe, a piece of advanced technology, intentionally adjusting its path through space. Let's take a moment to delve into the math behind this theory. The acceleration rate that scientists have observed, 0.02 millimeters per second squared, may seem negligible at first, but it's actually significant in the context of space. To put this into perspective, this acceleration is about 150,000th of the force of Earth's gravity. While it's a small number, it is enough, when applied over the course of days and weeks, to create a substantial change in the velocity of an object. If this acceleration continues for 50 days as predicted, the object's velocity could increase by 86 meters per second. This velocity change, in turn, could be enough to alter the trajectory of 3I-ATLAS, bringing it into closer alignment with Earth.
Now here's the kicker. While we've been able to calculate the velocity change, the direction of this acceleration remains a mystery. For all we know, it could be affecting the object in ways that would bring it closer to Earth. Or it could be applying pressure in a direction that would send it on a different path altogether. Without a clearer understanding of the vector of this acceleration, we can only speculate as to the object's true intent. To make things even more interesting, scientists have reported detecting rhythmic pulses from the object at a frequency of 1.4 gigahertz, which, as mentioned before, lies within the water hole of the electromagnetic spectrum. The water hole is a frequency range that is often considered ideal for interstellar communication, making it a prime candidate for anyone or anything looking to send a message across vast distances. This frequency range has been a key target in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, and the fact that 3IATLAS is emitting signals at this frequency raises the possibility that we might be observing a coordinated effort. Could this object be communicating with something or someone in our solar system? Or even more fascinating, could it be sending a message intentionally aimed at Earth?
However, before jumping to conclusions, it's important to note that while these signals are intriguing, they are far from conclusive. The claims of communication at 1.4 gigahertz have not been independently verified by major observatories, and so far, no radio telescope has confirmed the existence of these alleged pings. While the possibility of extraterrestrial technology is certainly exciting, we cannot ignore the fact that many natural phenomena in space can emit signals in the same frequency range. As of now, the signals remain unverified, leaving the door open to both scientific and speculative interpretations. As we look toward the future, one thing is certain: the observations of 3IATLS are about to intensify. In late 2025 and early 2026, we will have a better understanding of whether this object is merely a comet exhibiting strange behavior or whether we are witnessing something far more extraordinary. To help answer these questions, scientists around the world will be carefully monitoring the object with a variety of tools at their disposal, including telescopes in space and on the ground, radio astronomy, and even spectroscopic analysis. These tools will give us critical insights into the object's composition, structure, and behavior, as well as whether the acceleration we're observing is due to outgassing or some other unknown force. If the object is emitting gases like water vapor, carbon monoxide, or methane, it would suggest that the object is undergoing typical comet-like outgassing. However, if the object's emissions are more unusual, such as a lack of a visible coma or tail, it could suggest that there is something more going on. Could we be dealing with an artificial object? The next few months of observation will be crucial in answering this question. Another important tool in this investigation will be radio telescopes. These powerful instruments will listen for any unusual emissions coming from the object, including potential communication signals. If there are any signals detected at 1.4 gigahertz or any other frequency, it would be a game changer. For now, the lack of confirmed radio signals from 3IATLAS speaks volumes. If these signals existed, they would have been picked up by radio astronomers long ago. But with no confirmed detections, the claims of interstellar communication remain speculative at best. While we await further data, the implications of this discovery cannot be overstated. Whether 3IATLAS turns out to be a comet with unusual characteristics or a technological artifact from another civilization, the scientific community is on the edge of something extraordinary. This is a rare opportunity to study an object from another star system, something that could provide us with invaluable information about the formation of planets and the potential for life beyond our own solar system. But no matter what conclusions we reach, one thing is clear: 3IATLAS is not just another passing object. It's a symbol of the vast unknowns that still exist in the universe. We are only beginning to scratch the surface of understanding the true nature of interstellar objects, and the story of 3IATLAS is likely to be just the beginning of a much larger cosmic puzzle.
Yet what's truly captivating is that 3IATLAS seems to be doing something more than just passing through. The acceleration it is experiencing cannot be entirely explained by gravitational forces. Typically, comets experience non-gravitational acceleration when their ices sublimate and release gas, which creates a tiny push. But for 3IATLAS, the amount of acceleration is far greater than what would be expected for an object of its size and composition. The non-gravitational acceleration observed is small, only 0.02 millimeters per second squared. However, as small as it may sound, when this acceleration is applied over time in the vacuum of space, it becomes significant. In fact, this small push, if sustained over 50 days, could lead to a change in the object's velocity by 86 meters per second. That might not sound like much in the context of everyday life,
But in the vast emptiness of space, even tiny changes in velocity can have significant consequences. The acceleration is raising questions. What's causing it? And why is it happening now when the object is on its way out of the solar system? Is it due to outgassing, as we expect with many comets? Or is something else at play here? Something we don't fully understand? What complicates matters further is the possibility that the acceleration is intentional. Some researchers have suggested that this acceleration could be the result of purposeful maneuvering, with the object deliberately altering its path to target Earth. To make this claim, they point to faint signals detected at 1.4 gigahertz, a frequency that falls within the waterhole of the electromagnetic spectrum, a region that scientists consider ideal for interstellar communication. This frequency has been a focus of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and the fact that these signals are coming from an interstellar object adds to the mystery. Are we witnessing a deliberate attempt at communication? Or is this just an unfortunate coincidence? Without independent verification of these signals, we can't be certain. But the mere possibility that this object could be communicating with us, whether intentionally or not, brings an entirely new dimension to our understanding of space exploration. It suggests that 3IATLAS could be more than just a celestial body on a trajectory through our solar system. It could be something designed with purpose. At the heart of this discussion is the question of whether 3IATLAS is indeed a comet, or if it is something entirely different. A probe, perhaps, sent from another civilization. The data we have so far doesn't provide conclusive answers, but it does raise many more questions. The acceleration, the signals, and the object's unusual characteristics all point to the possibility that we may be looking at something entirely unexpected, a piece of technology designed to travel across the stars and perhaps even communicate across vast interstellar distances.
The excitement around this discovery is palpable. If 3IATLAS is indeed a probe, it could be the most significant discovery in human history. It would mean that we're not alone in the universe, that there are other civilizations out there capable of sending probes across the vast emptiness of space. The implications for science, philosophy, and the future of humanity would be nothing short of revolutionary. But the path to understanding what 3IATLAS truly is will not be easy. It will require careful observation and analysis, and even then, the answers may not be clear-cut. The data is still being gathered, and new observations are being made every day. As we move forward, scientists will be monitoring the object closely, looking for new clues that could help solve the mystery. As we await further developments, there are a few key factors to keep an eye on. First, we need to closely examine the object's composition and structure. If 3IATLAS is a comet, it should exhibit the typical features we associate with these objects, like a visible tail or a coma made up of gas and dust. But so far, we haven't seen these typical features. Instead, the object has shown some unusual signs, such as a possible jet structure and an unusual color that suggests the presence of ionized carbon monoxide. These are not the usual characteristics of a typical comet, and they could provide the first hints that 3IATLAS is more than just a celestial wanderer. In addition to these visual observations, spectroscopy will be a critical tool for understanding the object. By analyzing the light emitted by 3IATLAS, scientists can determine its composition and see if it matches what we would expect from a comet. If the object is emitting gases that are consistent with typical comet behavior, then we can rule out the possibility that it's something more exotic. But if the object behaves in a way that defies our current understanding of comets, then we may have to consider the possibility that it is something entirely else. One of the most crucial aspects of the ongoing investigation will be the continued tracking of the object.
Scientists will be looking for any signs that the acceleration is continuing or changing in any way. If the object's acceleration is consistent with what we expect from natural outgassing, then the case for a comet will be stronger. But if the acceleration persists or changes in a way that can't be explained by outgassing, then we may need to reconsider our assumptions. As we continue to monitor 3IATLAS, the questions surrounding this mysterious object deepen. While some of the data points we have seem to support the idea that it could be an ordinary comet, the object's behavior continues to defy simple explanations. It is showing signs that might suggest something more extraordinary, potentially challenging our conventional understanding of interstellar bodies.
This acceleration, which has been calculated as 0.02 millimeters per second squared, is significantly stronger than what we would typically expect from a comet on its size and mass. Normally, comets experience a very gradual and subtle acceleration due to outgassing, the sublimation of volatile materials from their surfaces as they approach the Sun. However, this object is behaving in a way that doesn't fit the typical pattern. For instance, we would expect to see a visible tail or coma as gas and dust are ejected from the surface, but these features are notably absent in the case of 3IATLAS. The lack of typical cometary features, coupled with its unexplained acceleration, has led some to propose that 3IATLAS may not be a natural object at all. Instead, it could be something far more unusual, a probe sent by an alien civilization. The idea is far from mainstream, but it is one that some researchers are seriously considering. They point to the object's behavior as potentially deliberate, not simply a random drift through space. Could it be possible that we are witnessing the first sign of extraterrestrial intelligence, an object sent from another star system intentionally maneuvering through our solar system? While the notion of extraterrestrial technology is still speculative, the evidence is compelling enough to warrant further investigation. The unusual acceleration, the absence of expected cometary features, and the faint radio signals detected at a frequency of 1.4 gigahertz all point to the possibility that this object might not be as ordinary as we first thought. Scientists will need to continue monitoring the object closely in the coming months to gather more data and confirm or rule out these hypotheses. As we wait for more observations, another important question is whether the acceleration observed in 3IATLAS will continue. If it does, it could provide further evidence that the object is behaving in ways that we don't fully understand. Conversely, if the acceleration slows or stops, it could lend support to the idea that the object is simply a comet experiencing unusual outgassing. We won't know for sure until more data is collected, but the stakes are high. The potential implications of this discovery, whether it turns out to be an alien probe or simply a very strange comet, are immense. In the meantime, scientists are turning to a range of different tools to help them unlock the mysteries of 3IATLAS. One of the most powerful methods for analyzing the object will be spectroscopy. Spectroscopy allows scientists to study the light emitted by an object, breaking it down into its component wavelengths. By analyzing these wavelengths, they can identify the chemical elements and compounds that make up the object, helping to determine whether it is behaving like a typical comet or whether something more unusual is at play. Spectroscopy will also help scientists understand what, if anything, is driving the object's acceleration.
If the object is outgassing, the spectroscopic analysis might reveal the presence of volatile gases, such as water vapor or carbon monoxide, which are typical of cometary activity. If these gases are detected, it could strengthen the case for 3IATLAS being a comet, albeit one with some strange characteristics. On the other hand, if the analysis reveals no evidence of outgassing, or if the object's composition is unusual in other ways, it could point to the possibility that 3IATLAS is not a natural object at all. In addition to spectroscopy, another tool that will play a crucial role in this investigation is radio astronomy. Over the years, astronomers have used radio telescopes to listen for signals that might indicate the presence of extraterrestrial intelligence. If 3IATLAS is transmitting signals at 1.4 gigahertz, as some have suggested, radio telescopes will be able to detect these signals and analyze them for any signs of structure or complexity. A structured radio signal, one that appears to be carrying information, would be a significant discovery. However, until that happens, the idea that these signals are intentionally being sent remains speculative. If radio signals do turn out to be coming from 3IATLAS, the implications for our understanding of the universe would be profound. It would suggest that we are not alone, that there are other civilizations out there capable of sending probes across the vast distances of interstellar space. This would be a monumental discovery, one that would change everything we thought we knew about life beyond Earth. However, there is still much to learn before we can make any definitive conclusions. The data we have so far are intriguing, but they don't provide enough evidence to say for certain whether 3IATLAS is a comet, an alien probe, or something else entirely. As more data is collected, we will be able to refine our understanding of the object and its true nature. For now, the object continues to move through the solar system, and the scientific community is watching closely. In the coming months, astronomers and other researchers will be refining their observations of 3IATLAS. This includes tracking its movement, studying its acceleration, and conducting further spectroscopic and radio observations. By late 2025, we should have a much clearer picture of what this object is and what its future trajectory looks like. In the meantime, the public fascination with the possibility of alien technology continues to grow. The idea that 3IATLAS could be an artificial probe sent by an advanced civilization is captivating. However, it's important to remember that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Until we have solid proof, we must remain cautious in our interpretations. While the possibility of encountering alien technology is exciting, we must also consider the possibility that 3IATLAS is simply a natural object exhibiting strange behavior.
The next few months will be crucial in determining what this object really is. If 3IATLAS behaves like a comet, we will have learned valuable lessons about the dynamics of interstellar objects. If it turns out to be something else, something engineered, we will be facing a discovery that could change the course of human history. For now, the most important thing is that we continue to study 3IATLAS with an open mind and a critical eye. Whether it's a comet or something more, it is a reminder that the universe is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. As we push forward in our study of 3IATLAS, it's important to recognize that the very nature of this object is redefining what we thought we knew about interstellar visitors. The excitement surrounding this object has brought with it not only new scientific questions, but also a public fascination with the idea of extraterrestrial life. Whether 3IATLAS is a comet, a probe, or something else entirely, it serves as a powerful reminder that the universe is far more complex and mysterious than we can fully comprehend. The scientific community is committed to exploring every possibility as we have a rare opportunity to study an object from outside our solar system in real time. The object's unusual acceleration, its faint signals, and its hyperbolic trajectory make it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. What makes this even more intriguing is the fact that this object's path could bring it significantly closer to Earth, with a predicted closest approach on December 19, 2025. This is why scientists are closely monitoring every aspect of 3IATLAS. With each new observation, we gain a better understanding of its true nature. The results from these ongoing observations will either reinforce the idea that we are dealing with a natural phenomenon, a strange comet, or they will open the door to new possibilities. Could this object be a piece of technology intentionally directed towards our planet by an advanced civilization? Or is it a product of natural cosmic forces we are only beginning to understand? Let's break down what we know and what we still need to learn in order to fully grasp the significance of this interstellar visitor. First, we must remember that 3IATLAS is not bound by the Sun's gravity. Its hyperbolic trajectory means that it is not an object that originated within our solar system. It came from somewhere else in the vast cosmos. This sets it apart from other objects that have passed through our solar system in the past. It's an interstellar object, a visitor from another star system. The fact that 3IATLAS is not bound to the Sun's gravity is key. This means that unlike comets or asteroids that orbit the Sun, 3IATLAS is essentially just passing through. The object's closest approach to the Sun, known as perihelion, occurred around October 30th, 2025. During this time, 3IATLAS passed just outside the orbit of Mars, between 136 and 140 million kilometers from the Sun.
But while this may seem like just another comet passing through, the object is doing something very unusual. It's accelerating in a way that gravity alone cannot explain. This non-gravitational acceleration, which some believe is caused by outgassing, has led to a number of theories about the object's true nature. Comets typically release gas and dust as they approach the Sun, which creates a push that slightly alters their path. But in the case of 3IATLAS, the acceleration is far stronger than what we'd expect from this kind of behavior. In fact, the non-gravitational acceleration observed is so significant that it could cause 3IATLAS to align its trajectory with Earth by December 2025. To clarify, this isn't just a flyby. If the acceleration continues, this object could potentially pass much closer to Earth than initially expected, close enough to raise significant questions about its origins and its intentions. However, the idea that 3IATLAS might be steering itself deliberately raises more questions than answers. Could this object be intentionally altering its course to intercept Earth? The idea of an alien probe is certainly a provocative one, but before we jump to conclusions, we must carefully examine the evidence. The signals detected at 1.4 gigahertz are intriguing, but they haven't been confirmed by major observatories. The possibility of these signals being an intentional form of communication, whether from a probe or another source, remains speculative at this stage. That said, the mere possibility that 3IATLAS could be an intelligently designed object is enough to capture the imagination. The object's unusual acceleration and the detection of potential signals have led some researchers to consider the possibility that this object is not just a random visitor from space, but rather a deliberate artifact sent from another civilization. If this were true, it would be a discovery unlike any other in human history. In the coming months, scientists will continue to gather data on 3IATLAS, using every tool at their disposal to learn more about its composition, trajectory, and behavior. Spectroscopic analysis will play a crucial role in identifying the gases and materials that make up the object. If the object is a comet, we should see signs of outgassing, specifically a coma or a tail. However, if the object doesn't show these typical features, it could be a sign that something else is at work. Perhaps we're dealing with an object that behaves like a comet but is made of entirely different materials, or perhaps we are witnessing the behavior of an alien probe, an artifact from another civilization designed to travel through the cosmos. The data we collect in the coming months will help us refine our understanding of what 3IATLAS truly is. If it continues to behave like a comet, then the natural explanation will hold.
But if we see signs of unusual behavior, if the object continues to accelerate in a way that can't be explained by outgassing, or if we detect more signals, it could mean that we are looking at something far more significant. Let's not forget that 3IATLAS is a rare find. It's only the third confirmed interstellar object we've ever observed. The first was Oumuamua, which was discovered in 2017 and caused a great deal of controversy due to its unusual shape and movement. The second was Borisov, discovered in 2019, which behaved like a typical comet. But 3IATLAS is different. It is showing signs of behavior that we haven't seen before, and that is what makes it so fascinating. Whether it's a comet, an alien probe, or something else entirely, 3IATLAS is providing us with a unique opportunity to learn about the universe in ways that we never expected. We are on the verge of something extraordinary. The next few months will be critical in determining what this object truly is. Scientists will continue to monitor its acceleration, track its trajectory, and analyze its composition. They will also be listening for any signs of communication from the object, using radio telescopes to detect any unusual emissions. If these emissions are confirmed, we may be looking at a technological breakthrough, proof that we are not alone in the universe. As we move forward with our study of 3IATLAS, it's crucial to remember that the quest for understanding this object is far from over. With each passing day, new data is being gathered, and with it, the scientific community is refining its understanding of this mysterious visitor from another star system. The possibility that 3IATLAS could be something more than just an unusual comet has captured the imagination of both the scientific community and the public alike. What we know so far is both intriguing and perplexing. 3IATLAS has shown signs of acceleration that can't be explained by gravitational forces alone. This acceleration, which is about 0.02 millimeters per second squared, is significant enough to alter the object's velocity, potentially bringing it closer to Earth by December 19, 2025. But what's truly fascinating is that this acceleration appears to be consistent, unlike the typical outgassing we expect from comets. This raises the possibility that there's something intentional behind the movement of this object. While the hypothesis that 3IATLAS could be a probe, an artifact from another civilization, remains speculative, it is certainly a possibility that scientists can't ignore. The faint signals detected at 1.4 gigahertz, a frequency often associated with interstellar communication, further complicate the picture. Could these signals be the result of a purposeful attempt at communication? Or are they just another anomaly in a complex system? As we continue to observe 3IATLAS, the key question is whether its acceleration will persist.
If the acceleration continues at the same rate, it could bring the object into a closer alignment with Earth. However, if it decreases, the case for a comet will become stronger. The data we gather over the next few months will be critical in determining whether 3IATLAS is simply a strange comet or if it's something far more extraordinary. Spectroscopic analysis will play a pivotal role in this investigation. By analyzing the light emitted by 3IATLAS, scientists can determine its composition and see if it aligns with what we expect from a typical comet. If the object is behaving like a comet, we should see the typical features: a visible tail, a coma made up of gas and dust, and the characteristic chemical signatures. However, if these features are absent, it could suggest that the object is something else entirely. Radio astronomy will also be key in our investigation. If the object is indeed emitting signals at 1.4 gigahertz, this could be an important breakthrough. Radio signals in this frequency range had been a key target in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. If 3IATLAS is intentionally sending signals, it would be one of the most groundbreaking discoveries in human history. However,
As exciting as the possibility of extraterrestrial technology may be, it's important to remain cautious. While the data is intriguing, it is still inconclusive. The signals at 1.4 GHz have not been independently confirmed, and until they are, the idea that 3IATLAS is a probe remains speculative. The object's behavior could still be explained by natural phenomena, such as outgassing, even though the scale of the acceleration is greater than we typically see. In the coming months, as more observations are made, we will have a clearer picture of what 3IATLAS truly is. If the object continues to behave like a comet, it will simply be another oddity in the world of celestial bodies. However, if the object's acceleration persists and is found to be consistent with deliberate propulsion, we may have to reconsider everything we thought we knew about interstellar objects. The stakes are high. If 3IATLAS is an artificial object, it would change our understanding of the universe. It would mean that we are not alone, that there are other civilizations out there capable of sending probes across the vast distances of space. The implications for science, philosophy, and even our place in the universe would be profound. However, the question remains, is 3IATLAS just a comet, or is it something more? The data we gather in the coming months will be critical in answering this question. Whether we are dealing with a strange but natural object or a piece of technology sent by an alien civilization, this discovery will have lasting effects on our understanding of the cosmos. Something extraordinary is unfolding right now, deep in the vastness of space. It's not a mere chance encounter. Something remarkable is heading directly toward us.
Initially, A3IATLAS was cataloged as another interstellar wanderer, a random object from another star system making its way through the cosmos. However, recent data has revealed that A3IATLAS is not following the expected trajectory. Instead, it appears to be altering its course. The most astonishing part? If the current acceleration continues, it could align itself with Earth by December 19, 2025. This isn't idle speculation. Independent scientists have been working tirelessly, analyzing the data and confirming that a consistent, non-gravitational push at a very small rate of 0.02 millimeters per second squared over a span of just 50 days would result in a change of velocity amounting to 86 meters per second. That may seem insignificant at first, but in the vacuum of space, even tiny forces, when applied over time, can drastically change the path of an object. And in this case, that change could bring A3IATLAS much closer to Earth than anyone initially expected. At this point, the big question emerges. Is this acceleration the result of natural forces, or is something else at play? Could A3IATLAS be steering itself toward us intentionally? Or are we simply witnessing the behavior of a comet under unique circumstances? The plot thickens as we uncover more data, and it raises the possibility of something far more profound than we might have anticipated. Let's take a deeper dive into the facts. It's important to clarify that this isn't merely an unverified hypothesis. This acceleration is real, measurable, and it doesn't follow the typical patterns we see in space objects. A3IATLAS isn't bound by the Sun's gravity, which makes it different from other objects in our solar system. It's traveling on a hyperbolic trajectory, meaning it came from another star system, and unlike typical comets, it will not be captured by the Sun's gravity. Instead, it's simply passing through, and its path will take it back out into the emptiness of interstellar space. On July 1, 2025, A3IATLAS was first observed by a network of telescopes in Chile, which are dedicated to spotting potential threats approaching Earth. At first, it seemed just like another dot in the vast sky,
an object on a predictable path. But soon, astronomers realized that its trajectory was not as simple as they had assumed. Something was pushing A3I-ATLAS, and this push couldn't be explained by gravity alone. The idea of non-gravitational acceleration has been around for years in the study of comets. When comets approach the sun, the heat causes ice to sublimate, and this outgassing creates a tiny push that can alter their trajectory. But what makes A3I-ATLAS so different is the scale and consistency of this acceleration. This isn't the typical behavior seen in the majority of comets. Researchers soon discovered that the amount of force pushing A3I-ATLAS was substantial enough to change its velocity in a meaningful way. But there's more to the story.
There have been reports of faint, rhythmic signals detected from 3I-ATLAS at 1.4 gigahertz. This is a frequency that has intrigued astronomers for decades, as it lies within what is known as the water hole of the electromagnetic spectrum, a region that is often associated with potential communications from extraterrestrial civilizations. The water hole is considered an ideal frequency for transmitting signals across vast distances in space, as it is relatively free from cosmic interference. Could these signals be an attempt to communicate, or are they just the result of some natural phenomenon? Could 3I-ATLAS, this wandering object, be intentionally steering itself in our direction? Could we be looking at the first potential sign of extraterrestrial intelligence? Before diving deeper into that question, let's examine the facts. 3I-ATLAS is on a hyperbolic trajectory, which means it came from outside our solar system and is now passing through, destined to continue its journey into interstellar space. This trajectory alone is not unusual, but the acceleration it's experiencing is. For something to accelerate in this manner without the influence of gravity, something must be pushing it, likely from outgassing, which is a common phenomenon for comets. However, the amount of acceleration observed in this case is far stronger than what would normally be expected from such a process. The key issue here is that the object is too large for typical outgassing to account for the observed change in velocity. If 3I-ATLAS were outgassing at a sufficient rate to cause such an acceleration, we would expect to see a significant cloud of gas and dust, essentially a tail or coma. But these features are not present in the way we would expect from a comet. This raises the possibility that the object is not just a natural body, but something that might be maneuvering through space with purpose. As it stands, scientists are still debating what could be behind this mysterious acceleration. Is it outgassing, or is there something more at play? This question is critical because it opens the door to some extraordinary possibilities. If 3I-ATLAS is indeed behaving as a comet, albeit one that is acting in strange and unpredictable ways, then it still holds tremendous scientific value. We could learn a lot about the conditions in other star systems and how objects from those systems behave when they interact with our sun. But if the acceleration is not the result of outgassing and instead is the result of something intentional, if 3I-ATLAS is maneuvering itself with purpose, then we may be witnessing something far more groundbreaking. We may be observing the first evidence of interstellar technology, a probe designed to explore the stars, sent by an alien civilization. This is the crux of the matter. The data, at least for now, doesn't provide definitive proof either way. What we have is an object from another star system, a visitor that has shown strange behavior.
It could be a comet with unusual properties, or it could be something far more extraordinary, an engineered artifact that is purposefully making its way toward us. As we continue to monitor 3IATLAS in the coming months, the key questions remain. Will its acceleration persist? Will it continue to exhibit the same unusual characteristics? And most importantly, what will the ongoing observations tell us about its true nature? Scientists around the world are monitoring the object with a range of tools designed to answer these very questions. Spectroscopic analysis, radio telescopes, and detailed imaging will all play crucial roles in helping us understand what 3IATLAS really is. As the investigation of 3IATLAS progresses, more questions arise. While it's still early, the data we have gathered suggests that this object might not be the simple interstellar wanderer it was initially thought to be. Its acceleration is too strong to be explained solely by outgassing, and the faint signals detected at 1.4 GHz are adding layers of intrigue. Could 3IATLAS be something much more than a comet? Could it be an alien probe directed intentionally toward Earth? These ideas may sound far-fetched, but let's consider the possibilities with a clear and analytical approach. For now, we need to focus on the facts. 3IATLAS is an interstellar object. It came from beyond our solar system, and its trajectory is hyperbolic, meaning it will continue its journey into deep space after passing through the solar system. This is significant because it indicates that this object was never part of our solar system. It is a cosmic visitor, providing us with a rare opportunity to study something from another star system. When 3IATLAS was first detected on July 1, 2025, astronomers thought it was just another comet passing through. It was observed by a network of telescopes in Chile designed to detect any potential threats to Earth. It wasn't long before scientists realized that 3IATLAS was showing signs of behavior that couldn't be explained by gravity alone. The object was accelerating in ways that didn't match the expectations for a comet. What's causing this acceleration? In most cases, when we observe a comet accelerating in space, it's due to outgassing, when the sun heats the icy surface of the comet and causes gas to sublimate, pushing the object in the opposite direction. This process creates a slight but measurable change in the comet's velocity. However, 3IATLAS is exhibiting an acceleration that is stronger than what we would expect from simple outgassing. For one thing, comets usually show a visible tail and coma as they eject gas and dust, but 3IATLAS hasn't shown these classic signs. This raises the possibility that something else is driving this acceleration. Some have suggested that it could be due to a purposeful maneuver, an intentional change in the object's course.
What if 3IATLAS is not just a comet, but a probe? A piece of technology that was sent from another civilization to explore our solar system. This idea is speculative, but it's also worth considering. After all, if 3IATLAS were being deliberately steered, it could be sending signals to us, possibly even trying to communicate. The signals detected at 1.4 GHz are also worth investigating. The frequency of 1.4 GHz is significant because it falls within the water hole of the electromagnetic spectrum, a region that is often considered ideal for communication across vast distances in space. It's possible that these signals are intentional, sent by the object for reasons that we can't yet fully understand. While we don't have concrete evidence yet to confirm that the signals are real, they add a layer of complexity to the mystery surrounding 3IATLAS. Given the strange behavior of 3IATLAS, scientists are closely monitoring its movement and its acceleration. The question is whether the acceleration will continue or whether it will slow down as the object moves farther away from the sun. If the acceleration persists, it could bring the object closer to Earth in December 2025, as calculations suggest. But if it stops, we might be dealing with a comet that's simply behaving unusually. Only time will tell. In addition to monitoring the acceleration, scientists are also using spectroscopic analysis to learn more about the object's composition. Spectroscopy will help us determine what materials 3IATLAS is made of and whether it's behaving like a typical comet. If we see the expected signs of outgassing, such as a coma or tail, then we can rule out the possibility that the object is a technological probe. But if these features are absent, the hypothesis that 3IATLAS is something artificial will gain more credibility. Radio astronomy will also play a critical role in the investigation.
If 3IATLAS is emitting signals at 1.4 gigahertz, this could be a breakthrough discovery. Radio telescopes will be listening closely for any signs of communication. If these signals turn out to be intentional, it would suggest that we are dealing with something far beyond the realm of ordinary interstellar objects. If they are not confirmed, then we must reconsider the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence and focus on natural explanations for the object's behavior. As of now, the excitement surrounding 3IATLAS is palpable, but we must remain cautious. The object is still exhibiting behavior that is unusual, but that doesn't automatically mean that it's an alien probe. We have to consider all possible explanations, and only further observations will tell us the true nature of 3IATLAS. Whether it's a comet, a probe, or something else entirely, the discovery of 3IATLAS has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the universe.
If the object is a probe, it would suggest that advanced civilizations are capable of sending technology across vast interstellar distances. It would mean that we are not alone in the universe. But if it's simply an unusual comet, it will still provide valuable insights into the behavior of objects from other star systems and help us refine our models of how comets and other celestial bodies behave. For now, the key is to gather more data. In the coming months, we will have a much clearer picture of what 3IATLAS is and what it's doing. The object's closest approach to Earth will take place in December 2025, and as that date approaches, astronomers will continue to monitor its trajectory and behavior. We will also be looking for signs of outgassing, any unusual emissions, and any signals that could suggest that the object is something more than just a comet. Whatever the truth turns out to be, one thing is certain. 3IATLAS is an object that demands our attention. Its strange behavior, the possibility of interstellar communication, and the potential for discovering something completely new about the universe make it one of the most fascinating objects we've ever encountered. As we continue to observe and analyze it, we will be learning more about the nature of space, the potential for life beyond Earth, and our place in the vast expanse of the cosmos. In the coming months, the observation campaign will intensify, and scientists around the world will be monitoring 3IATLAS with a wide array of instruments designed to answer some of the most pressing questions surrounding this object. The next few weeks are critical for confirming whether the acceleration continues, if the faint signals persist, and whether any additional unusual characteristics emerge as the object approaches Earth in late 2025. While the idea that 3IATLAS could be an alien probe is still speculative, the scientific community remains open to all possibilities. The implications of such a discovery would be revolutionary. For centuries, humanity has speculated about the existence of other civilizations in the universe. But the detection of a technologically advanced probe, if indeed 3IATLAS is one, would provide undeniable proof that we are not alone. Such a discovery would forever change the course of human history and our understanding of our place in the vast expanse of the cosmos. However, as fascinating as the possibility of extraterrestrial technology is, it is crucial that we rely on evidence, not speculation. So far, the data is intriguing, but it does not yet provide definitive proof that 3IATLAS is anything more than a comet with unusual characteristics. The signals detected at 1.4 gigahertz, while exciting, have not been confirmed, and the object's acceleration, though significant, could still be explained by natural phenomena such as outgassing. The next major step in this investigation will be the analysis of the object's composition.
If 3IATLAS is indeed a comet, we expect to see evidence of outgassing as the object moves closer to the Sun. The presence of a coma, a tail, and typical cometary gases like water vapor or carbon dioxide would support this theory. On the other hand, if these features are absent, it could be a sign that 3IATLAS is something far more extraordinary. Additionally, the radio signals detected at 1.4 gigahertz remain a key point of investigation. If these signals are found to be intentional, it would be a monumental discovery. While radio signals from interstellar objects are rare, they are not entirely impossible. If 3IATLAS is deliberately sending signals, this would suggest that it is far more than just a random object drifting through space. It would imply that we are dealing with a piece of technology sent from another civilization. However, it is important to emphasize that until these signals are independently verified, the idea that 3IATLAS is a probe remains speculative. The scientific community will continue to monitor the object, refining its trajectory and behavior. The next few months will be critical in determining the true nature of 3IATLAS, and scientists will be looking for any new clues that can help solve the mystery. As the object approaches Earth, the window for observation will begin to narrow. The closer 3IATLAS gets to our planet, the more data we will be able to collect. By December 19, 2025, when the object is predicted to make its closest approach to Earth, we should have a much clearer picture of what 3IATLAS truly is. The final analysis will be based on a combination of all available data, including spectroscopic observations, radio astronomy, and imaging. If 3IATLAS is a comet, it will exhibit typical cometary behavior, and the mystery will be solved. If it is something more, then the implications will be far-reaching. One thing is certain. 3IATLAS has already changed the way we think about space exploration and our place in the universe. Whether it turns out to be a comet, an alien probe, or something else entirely, it has captured the attention of scientists and the public alike. It serves as a reminder that the universe is vast, mysterious, and full of surprises. As we continue to study 3IATLAS, we are reminded of the importance of curiosity and open-mindedness in science. Every discovery, no matter how strange or unusual, has the potential to expand our understanding of the world around us. Whether 3IATLAS is simply a comet or something more extraordinary, the data we collect in the coming months will help shape the future of space exploration and our search for life beyond Earth. The story of 3IATLAS is still unfolding, and the next few months will be critical in determining its true nature. Whether this object is simply an odd comet or something far more significant, it will leave a lasting mark on the history of space exploration. As we await further observations, the excitement and anticipation surrounding 3IATLAS will continue to grow, and the answers we find may be more profound than we ever imagined.